Hey everyone, I'm Melissa and I'm at Dragon Man's. Today I have a special video for you and a announcement. This is Jake. He is from Dead Air and he's going to be talking about a lot of their suppressors. But best of all, you will also be able to come out to Dragon Man's April 26th and 27th to demo all of the cans that he's talking about. We'll also have the grand opening of the museum and also a machine gun vendor out here that weekend, plus food trucks and some other special activities. So this is going to be one of a three-part series. So today we're covering rifle cans, then we're going to do pistol and then specialty cans. Jake, what do you got here for us?
Perfect. Well, today I've got the lineup of your most popular rifle cans. So we're talking 5.56, 30 cal, up to hunting calibers as well. Starting on the end, we're going biggest. So we've got the Primal 46. Best part about this can is it'll eat pretty much anything we're looking at. So if you've got 9 mil, 45 ACP, 45-70 government, all the way up to 338 Lapua also. But great steel welded cans, Cobalt 6 baffles, so high pressure ratings, extreme durability. This is one that you can pass to your kids and they can pass to their kids.
Okay, so for the Primal, you can mount it a couple different ways, hub, you can do direct thread, and then when we do the specialty video, we'll talk about the e-brake and what that means and how it kind of diffuses the gases a little bit better. What's next?
So next up, another one of our newer series. So we've got the Nomad Ti's. So you've got the LTI, which is the long version, and then the standard XCTI. So these ones are great, especially long-range precision shooters, your hunting crowd. Super lightweight, 3D printed titanium. Again, multiple mounting systems, direct thread on this guy. You also have the Xeno mount on this one. No KeyMo for the Nomad TIs, but two different ways to mount it. And like I said, this one's coming in at just a little over 8 ounces. This one's right about 9.
And then these kind of have the newer technology where it's like vented, right? So it kind of has that better, pushing the gases through so you're not getting like that backsplash.
Correct, yep. And then coaxial baffle system, so it's going to work great with high pressure rounds as well as low pressure rounds. It's not going to change the difference at all. So.
And then the benefits to like 3D printing, what would you say about that for people who don't really understand why it would be maybe prefer to get a 3D printed can?
Gotcha. So benefits to the 3D printing, obviously, timeliness is going to be a big factor. They can run on 24/7, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So that way, supply meets demand. It also helps a lot with repairs, things of that nature, but also just the durability as well. So next up, we have the Wolverine. So for all those AK guys, this is the can for the AK. Any type, any kind. Doesn't matter the thread pitch, doesn't matter the muzzle brake. It'll actually lock in to your standard AK-47 front sight, so you don't have to do any gunsmithing needs either. And then, it'll eat just about anything as well. So if you've got all that old surplus ammo, no issue for the Wolverine.
Heck yeah.
But this one is a beast for sure.
I didn't even know that. So it doesn't matter what thread they have on their AK?
Different inserts that you can do, different collars. So again, if you've got, an original, Russian or one of the, US made Centuries, doesn't matter in that nature, so.
5.56 or 223, 5.45, 760 by 39.
Sure. Yep.
All right, what's next?
So next is kind of what made Dead Air what it is, maybe in the original Sandman series. So 3 different options there for you. So Sandman L, Sandman S, and Sandman K. So the long version, standard, and then the short version. These are the the battle-born, tried and true. If you want a suppressor that's going to last you forever and ever and ever, this would be the can. So this one, KeyMo mounting system on these guys, full stainless steel tube and baffles with the Cobalt 6 baffles as well. These, you can run them, no barrel restrictions, full auto rated. You can run these into the ground and they'll still perform.
And obviously, like the L, you're going to have a little bit higher suppression. With the K, maybe a little bit less suppression.
Correct. So it's a trade-off. Do you want it, decibel rating to go down, or do you want it lighter and shorter on the end of your rifle?
What would be a type of rifle that they would mount this, long, heavier sort of rifle can on?
So mostly what I've seen on these is going to be more of, your 308 DDM, defensive, marksman rifle, where it's stationary on a bipod. You're not really carrying it around very much, but you want that extra sound suppression. So.
But then we have this is the X model?
Yep, so this is the newest one. This was just released this year at SHOT Show. So Sandman X. X stands for our 10-year anniversary being a company. So this one is actually 3D printed in Haynes 282. So it's a nickel alloy, so super great for pressure, super great for longevity. Triskelion baffle system with our gas management system as well. That way you get less back pressure, less blowback in the face, so it's healthier. You can shoot it for longer periods of time. This one is hub compatible, which means that you can do the different options. So you can do either the KeyMo or the Xeno mounts, where the original Sandman series was just the KeyMo.
Right, what's next?
So this one, same principle. This is another one of the newer ones. This is the Lazarus 6. So a 6mm can, but great on a 5.56 platform also. But again, this one's 3D printed Haynes 282. Same hub compatibility, so the KeyMo or the Xeno. Again, that Triskelion baffle, so the gas management system. So less back pressure, less in your face, no adjustments needed. That's the other big part as well. So we don't have to mess with gas blocks or get adjustable gas blocks, anything of that nature.
Oh, so it's more tuned in to
Correct.
the gases of a standard like rifle.
Correct. Yep, install and shoot. You know, you don't get that gas feel, that gas smell. Runs nonstop. The benefit to the Haynes 282 again is that heat dissipation. So you could run this thing nonstop for days, and it's not gonna. Your rifle would melt before the can does.
What else we got? Last but not least, and then we're going to talk about some mounting options.
So another one of the tried and true legacy series. So the CR5, so dedicated 5.56 caliber. Again, this one, you know, super durable. So again, something you can pass to your kids, they can pass to your grandkids. Run tens of thousands of rounds through it. But again, stainless steel with the cobalt baffles, interchangeable front end caps. So if you want the flash suppressor, if you want it flat, this one is still just the standard KeyMo, which is great as well.
So now this would be a dedicated 5.56 can.
Correct.
For dead air, okay. Yeah, so that means that you can't shoot like 308, 6.5 Creedmoor, 300 blackout through it, and it would be more dedicated, but you'll have higher suppression ratings. I forgot that we didn't really like talk about all of the pricing through all of these. So what is this one maybe like retail about?
So the CR5 is going to run right on the 800 area, you know, give or take there, depending on where you're at. But
and I feel like most of these are kind of in the 800 area. Yep. 800 to 900.
You know, you get to the titanium ones, those are going to be a little bit more pricey. So you're looking, you know, $950 to $1050 on the titanium. But yeah, most of them are going to run that $800-900 range.
All right, let's see if I can name them all. So we got the Primal 46, we got the Nomad XCTI-L, the Nomad XCTI, the Wolverine, the Sandman L, Sandman S, Sandman K, the Sandman X, and then the Lazarus 6 and the Sierra 5. Woo! I think we also forgot the mask, but we'll kind of cover that in the pistol series, which you can put on. It's just a 22 can. It's one of the best on the market. Honestly, I sell a ton of them. All right, so moving onward, we have some firearms here to show you just a couple of different mounting options, and then I'm going to just talk a little bit more about the event. So Dead Air, you know, they came out with kind of unique muzzle brakes that really are being made like throughout, or used as like a blueprint throughout the industry.
So this is the Xeno mount. So we talked about KeyMo and Xeno. Those are the two different mounting systems. So one of the cool things about the Xeno mount, you know, number one, it's generally a little bit shorter, a little bit lighter as well. But it also has, so reverse thread, so you never have to worry about the muzzle brake coming off when you take the suppressor off. It'll tighten while you shoot. It also has a tapered collar. So you'll never have to worry about carbon lock or the suppressor seizing on it. But again, so reverse thread, so righty-loosey, lefty-tighty.
That's kind of nice because I can't tell you how many suppressors have gotten like kind of locked onto the muzzle brake and like carbon locked, and I haven't been able to like fully get it off unless you do some sort of tricks to expand it.
And again, like I said, you know, reverse thread, so when you break it off, that muzzle device stays nice and firm. So again, you know, no need to worry about rock set, anything like that. It's just a, you know, install on the rifle and go. So KeyMo mount is the other option. So this is, again, is, you know, the tried and true original from Dead Air. This one's a single point on, single point off ratchet system. So you never have to worry about point of aim, point of impact, shift, anything of that nature. But again, you know, you just find that special spot, ratchet it down, you'll actually hear it click until it stops moving, and then you're locked on.
Yeah, so kind of quick detach. Everyone kind of loves that as well. Now this one, do you recommend rock setting the muzzle brake?
I would. You know, this one, neither the Xeno or the KeyMo, and again, another kind of benefit, not necessarily have to be timed like some other suppressor, you know, brakes and muzzle devices, things like that. A lot of people will, just so they know where that point of, you know, that on point is, whether it's the 12 o'clock, whether it's the 6 o'clock, things of that nature.
Now, could they use this muzzle brake with this suppressor?
No.
No.
Nope.
Why?
So it's only one. So again, with the locking ratchet system and then the threads. So
Okay.
yep, it's got to be dedicated to the mount to the hub.
Okay. So if all of this sounds kind of confusing, that is why hub compatible has been so popular, because if you don't want to find the specific proprietary brake for the suppressor, you can just simply get, let's say you have like a KeyMo muzzle brake, Dead Air does make an adapter, and you can just put that over the brake, and then, you know, any sort of hub compatible suppressor that Dead Air makes will simply go over it.
Correct.
So, and they do make this guy, and this is called the let's see, the KeyMo adapter or the Xeno adapter. So some really good stuff coming out of Dead Air.
Super popular, especially nowadays with a lot of rifle manufacturers putting muzzle devices on their rifles from the factory. This does help out quite a bit. So
definitely. And then if it's direct thread, like we have a lever over here.
Yeah, so other options is going to be standard direct thread. So again, make sure you have the right thread pitch from the rifle to the end cap on the suppressor. There's a multitude of different options. Dead Air has the accessory parts for all of them. But this one, again, is just a direct thread onto the rifle itself. So again, no need for, you know, crush washers, no spacers, none of that. Just direct thread on. Just make it nice and snug, nice and tight. Again, you know, you don't want to over torque it, but you want it on there. So
definitely. And they always come like the wrenches, and you can kind of torque it that way as well.
So
I think one of the most popular questions that I get about Dead Air cans is, are they serviceable? Can you take out the baffles and so forth? And they shouldn't not buy a Dead Air can because of that. It's actually really easy to clean these suppressors if you can't take out the baffles. So how would you recommend that?
yeah, so great question. I do get asked that a lot. So majority of your rifle cans aren't going to be serviceable. You know, you look at 22 cans, some of your pistol cans, those are going to be serviceable, but the rifle cans are not. You know, you can't remove the baffles. They're either printed in there or they're welded in there. Benefit to the rifle cans is it's not a huge necessity like your actual firearms. A lot of them can go quite a few amount of rounds without having to be needed to be cleaned. You know, recommendation for some of the newer printed items like the Lazarus 6 and the Sandman X, you know, you're looking at 4,000 rounds before you should start taking a look and seeing what the buildup is, things of that nature. As far as the steel cans go, me personally, I do mine about every 750 to 1,000 rounds, just because I use them a lot for demos and they get shot a lot, and I don't want dirty, you know, suppressors in customers' hands. But what I'll do is I just soak them in a solution like M Pro 7, something of that nature, make sure it's good for the material the suppressor's made out of, and then you just let them sit for 24 hours and drip dry, and that works great. You know, you got to be a little bit more careful with the titanium cans. Again, you don't want anything that's going to agitate or degrade the material, but
yeah, all good advice. And then if you have like a sonic cleaner, just don't put in the titanium cans?
yeah, titanium, aluminum, things like that in the sonic cleaner. But
all right, guys. So there you have it. A couple different mounting options, all the wonderful new and kind of staple items from Dead Air. Come on out April 26th and 27th. You can see Jake's lovely face here, and he'll let you, shoot his stuff. So get out here. We're going to talk a little bit more about the event come closer to those dates. And then we're also going to do a pistol series and a specialty can series. So you guys are going to learn a lot about Dead Air cans and just some really fun stuff, kind of getting away from what's happening in Colorado, all of the terrible bills that they're kind of just keep putting out there. And we just want to enjoy the shooting sports. We want to enjoy, hunting products and just everything kind of that the industry can offer. So thanks for watching, and thanks for being here, Jake.
yeah, of course. Yeah, again, like Melissa just said, support your local businesses. They're going to need it most, now more than ever. So keep fighting the good fight and support local.
Definitely.
And we'll see you in April.
See you guys.